Further ahead, ASHTAVAKRA says, you are detached, unmoving, self-lightened and spotlessly pure. You are detached. It means even when being with everyone, you are with no one. If we understand this with an example, a husband is with his wife, which means he is attached to her. But the person isn't attached to the wife. If there is a divorce, the husband dies, the wife dies. They become ex-husband and ex-wife from husband and wife, but the person is not affected by this. Similarly, we have 5 senses, and there are 5 corresponding objects to those 5 senses, which are attached to each other. The world which is visible to us, where is it? It looks like it is outside us, but we see it inside our brain. So this brain and this world are connected with each other. The brain is made up of what material? Nature. If you want to perceive this nature, where can you perceive it? In the brain. If someone's brain dies, the existence or absence of this universe will be equal for him. So, everything is connected with each other. Like to have some experience, if you want to have some experience of this world, you need to have your senses, the 5 senses. If 4 out of 5 senses are not working, even that doesn't matter. At least one sense should be functional. Let's assume that all the 5 senses are not working. Whatever experiences you have had, the impressions are there inside your memory, isn't it? Your brain should be in a working condition for that memory to play. If the brain's condition is quite bad, those impressions can't be played. So, memory is attached to the brain. And if you closely observed, even the senses are attached to the brain. Senses or absence of senses is useless. You have eyes, but the brain is dead. What does it mean? So everything in this world is connected with each other. The one who is connected will be happy and sad. If you say that I am eyes, eyes are a part of the body. When eyes are working well, you will be happy. When eyes aren't working properly, you will be sad. But if you don't say that you are eyes at all, there will be no happiness or sorrow. So, whoever is attached to whatever will encounter both happiness and sorrow. But he who is detached is completely free. Since he is not attached to anyone, there is no question of being separate. If he is not bound, there is no question of liberation. Unmoving. Everything in this world which you see is in motion. You just need different instruments to see how they are in motion. And if you say that something is not moving, say a chair, you say that it is not moving. The chair is not moving, but the car is. The chair can be moved, pushed, and taken somewhere else. So, whatever exists in this world, the possibility of motion is always there. But what is being said about you? And the interesting point here is, it is you who are being talked about. That is why it is interesting. If someone was told about God, it would be like, yeah, fine, God is unmoving, detached, worship God, fine. That is more like a belief. But here, you are being directly discussed. How are you living? What are you thinking? What are you doing? What is actually happening? These both are so different. Why this difference? Because we have thought so wrongly about ourselves. You are unmoving. Where is a movement possible? What does movement mean? Movement in space, from one point to the other point. Movement is possible in space, but does space move? In which the movement happens, does it move? In the dream, you feel that you are going from here to there. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I am this. I am that. All of that is happening. But does the person who is seeing this dream moving? No, he doesn't. You can understand it this way. The dreamer is not moving. Dream objects are moving. In the dream objects, we are called something I. We think of them as I. We are assuming. We are not that actually. When we wake up, we do say that I was assuming him to be me. I thought that I had died, but I didn't die actually. So, exactly this way, if you observe keenly whatever is happening, whatever experiences are happening, all of that is happening within me. Different experiences are occurring because objects of experiences are different. Experience is happening to me. There is no movement at that level. Like what you see by opening your eyes, whatever you see. You saw a pot, then you saw a light, then you saw darkness, then you saw a chair. You saw different things this way. Then you saw your body. What will you say after seeing it? I am having different experiences, whereas the experience is just one. Seeing. It is very subtle. A person will say, I had a different experience, then a different experience. If it happened through just one sense, through the eyes, happened only to you, there is no difference at the level of experience. Only the objects of experiences are changing, and because of it, we think our experiences are changing. So, the experience is always unchanging. If you try to understand this, he who is having an experience, who is he? I. Not that I which you or this world call I. This is not about body here. He who is the experiencer, which is not different for you and me at that level. What is its nature? Its nature is experiencing all the time, meaning this is the very nature. Fire means hot, sugar means sweet. Similarly, what you are and your basic nature is, don't consider them different. This is where people were wrong in the past. Experiencer and experience aren't different. They both are the same, inseparable. Experience is the experiencer, and experiencer is the experience. Look at this. Understand it easily. You are sitting at a place and imagine that there is no body around you. Now, what happened is instruments are being brought in front of you one by one. One is an instrument to see. As soon as it came in front, is there a difference at the level of experience? There is no difference. It is not that you need an object to have an experience. You can experience even the absence of all objects. So what is happening? You are comfortably sitting at a place. This creation is not yet formulated. This universe doesn't exist right now. Gradually, this universe is formed, and with time, some instruments took form. Then, you who were sitting comfortably, inside whom all of this was happening, an instrument came in front of you. Let's assume something to see like a camera. As soon as it appeared, what happened? The world became visible. Now what do you say? I am having an experience of seeing something. Then why was that world visible? It wasn't only the presence of the camera through which you were seeing. There was light too. Now the light disappeared. Now what are you saying? I am not able to see anything. But you are still looking through the camera, hence you are seeing the darkness, which is the opposite of light. Initially, you were able to see through that camera because of light. But now, you are also able to see the absence of light through that camera. Remove that camera. Where is light? Where is darkness? Understand this carefully. After this, another instrument came in to hear, through which you can hear. As soon as that instrument, you are right there. You aren't moving from your place. You are unmoving, which means that you are fixed at one place itself. This time, an instrument to listen came in. When that instrument through which you can hear came in, whatever the range of that instrument is, through that whatever the vibrations are, it is actually vibrations. What was earlier visible to you is now heard. So, where is the change now? Is there a change at the level of vibrations? Be it a chair or a sound, Both are vibrations. There is no difference at that level. Earlier, even science used to say that particles and waves are different. Now they say that it is all connected to the observer. In the presence of an observer, a wave looks like a particle. Even science says the exact same thing being mentioned here. It is all connected to the self. What is an observer? The self. The very act of observing is what changes the equation. But science is missing one point over there, because it is not placing an instrument in between. It is connecting it to the observer. So it feels that it is changing because of the observer. They also think that the act of observation is also changing. Observation is non-stop. You assume that you have an eye which never shuts down. Your viewing never stops. You keep on viewing, keep on viewing, keep on viewing. When I talk about viewing, it includes everything. Whatever you see through all your five senses. Suddenly, a viewing instrument came in. You saw. Why was it visible through the instrument? Because there was light. The light went out, but the objects are still there. But now those objects are not visible. So, nothing is visible. Then what you were seeing through that instrument, the act of seeing through that instrument which was meant for seeing, that is gone. Your interest in it died down as it happens in deep sleep when you are in deep sleep. When you close your eyes, your interest in it is lost. As soon as it is lost, what happens? Where is light? Where is darkness? If you will bring in the memory here, you will say, yes, earlier there was light due to which there were objects. Then there was darkness. Remove the memory. Memory is anyway unreal. What is memory? Some stored recordings. We are not talking about it right now. We are juggling with the experience right now. What is an experience? What happened next? You keep continuing your viewing. You don't stop looking. You never stop looking. You can't stop looking even if you want to. This is your basic nature. What does consciousness mean? What does awareness mean? To experience is your basic nature. You are experiencing. Now what are you experiencing? Earlier, you were experiencing light through that instrument. You were experiencing the objects illuminated through that light. You were experiencing the absence of light. Now, even that instrument is not present. You are now experiencing the absence of that instrument. Not just the absence of instrument, but the absence of the world which you were perceiving through that instrument. You are experiencing even that as you experience in your deep sleep. What happens during deep sleep? Are eyes there? Whatever is visible through eyes, is that there? Does its recording exist? It is not. If we take this one level ahead, now what happens is you are continuously looking. The sight is not dying. What has changed this time? Earlier, there was an instrument through which you can see. Now, another instrument has activated through which you can listen. So, what is happening? You are hearing some sounds. Then, the sounds disappeared. You went into a room where there are no sounds. There is silence. Now you are experiencing the absence of sound. But what are the presence of sound and absence of sound connected to? Are they connected to the eyes? No. Got it? What are they connected to? Ears. They are connected to such an instrument through which you can listen. Now, you don't have an interest either in the presence of sound or the absence of sound. Ears will be present if you have interest in the presence of sound. You have no interest in listening, but seeing. What happens then? Ears will die and eyes will be born. Getting this concept? And if some people who do not understand all this, what are they interested in? The sound is very irritating. Now I will stay in silence. What are they doing now? What is silence connected to? Ears. So, ultimately, he is getting attached to that instrument itself, be it getting attached to sound or getting attached to silence. If your attachment is with the absence of sound, that attachment is what will keep the ears alive. When do your ears come alive? At times they are alive and at times they die. Doesn't it happen? Sometimes memory comes alive. It happens multiple times a day. So, when do ears come alive? Either there is a sound which interests you, which means there is a desire related to it, or if there is a fear around it, or your interest lies in the absence of sound. You think that you are perceiving silence, but you are connected to the ears. What is the silence connected to? Ears, of course. You are seeing the absence of sound through ears itself. If there are no ears, where is sound and where is silence? Now what happened? All the five senses came in one by one. The skin came up. Skin is also an instrument. Something hot or cold touched the skin. Some contact happened. Something touched. Then you knew it. You are seeing it. So, there is no difference in seeing. You are seeing continuously. The sight is continuous. The sight is not dying. What are you if you are not the sight? Are you conscious or unconscious? No one can say, I am unconscious. What does unconscious mean? Dead. So nobody is unconscious. Everybody is conscious. But what does the world call death? These instruments came in front of you. There are 5 instruments. This body is a very sophisticated instrument in itself. It is a collection of these 5 senses and one brain which you can call a computer, which has stored recordings and which is playing on its own accord. So there are these 6 things. What is outside of them? If we see it in a simple way, there are these 6 instruments. One is the brain, and the brain is in between all these 5. Either a memory is playing, or you dream through memory, or you see a tree wide awake. Where did you see it? You saw it inside your brain. And when you are dreaming, you see the same tree. Where is it seen? Inside the brain. Ultimately, what are these 5 connected to? To the brain. And who is the one seeing through the brain? That is me. There should be no doubt about it. So, what does a person refer to as death? Whose death is it? When all the 5 senses die, or 4 out of 5 senses die, a person doesn't say that he is dead. When does this misconception about I died or he died arise? Even when all the 5 senses die, he never says that he has died. Supposing all your 5 senses die, but the brain is still alive. Breathing is on. A person will say he is alive. What do you mean by that? Who is alive? What is alive? So when does a person says he is dead? When the brain stops functioning. That is when people say he is dead. What is dead? Is the consciousness dead? Because if the consciousness had died, it would have died in everyone. Consciousness isn't different. Consciousness is consciousness. Awareness is awareness. Unmoving, self-lightened. This is what self-lightened mean. Everyone needs me to be lightened, but I don't need anyone to be lightened. Objects need light to be lit up, but for light to be lit up, it needs eyes. Light can't be lit up through ears. Can we light up the sunlight through ears? We can't. So what is required for that? Eyes are required. What do eyes need to light up? The brain is required. Eyes are there, but the brain is dead. Will something be visible? Nothing will be visible. What does the brain need to light up? Ultimately, whatever is happening in the brain, what does it need to light up? I am required. This is what self-lightened mean. Self-existent. He who lightens up everything, but no one lights him up. He is self-lightened. He is self-evident. We say that this universe exists. On what basis do we say that this universe exists? You say that this universe exists. On what basis? Because I experience it. That is the ultimate proof. Is there any other proof? Is there any other proof on the basis of which humanity can say that this universe exists? Because I experience this universe. That is why it exists. So the existence of this universe is dependent on me. So the proof of the existence of this universe is me. What is the proof of my existence? I am. Understood? What is required for the existence of the sound of silence? Is your body required? The body will form and get destroyed. The brain will form and get destroyed. 5 senses will form and get destroyed. But this will continue to exist. Consciousness continues to exist. On what basis is it existing? There is a movie which we go to watch in a theatre. It is playing on a screen. If there is no screen, where is the movie? Clear? For the movie to exist, a screen is required. Okay, there is a screen, there is a movie, but there is no one to watch it. Someone never saw a movie. Can you say that the movie exists? On what basis are we saying it is? Because I experienced it. That is why I say it is. So this isness is connected to me. It is connected to the consciousness. It is self-existent. It is self-light. Such a light is being discussed here, which shows us the presence of light and the presence of darkness. Now what is this presence of light and the presence of darkness connected to? To eyes. Understood? And if you go further deep into this, it is not even connected to the eyes either. Light is connected to the eyes. Objects getting illuminated through light are also connected to the eyes. But what is darkness connected to? The memory. Because if there is no memory, you don't know the difference between light and darkness. Memory of light and memory of absence of light. Both have light in it. If someone has never experienced light, there is no darkness for him either. There are no eyes for him too. Got it? This is called the Trinity. It is connected through this.